So for many investors or um, people that want to be investors, the next logical question is, how do I find wholesale deals? Here are a couple or a few deal sources. Now there are many deal sources, but here are a few. REO and bank owned. Distressed homeowners. Where there's motivation, there is distress, or vice versa. Probate and inherited properties. And tired landlords. This economy or this real estate market has created a lot of tired landlords. Let's drill down on some of these uh, deal sources. I love REO and bank-owned deals. They're one of my favorites, and here's why. Okay, banks are very motivated. You know, we love motivated sellers. Right now, I mean, who's more motivated than a bank, you know, when it comes to needing to dump off deals, right? Absolutely. Um, with the bank, the emotion is removed from the equation. There's no personal attachment to the property. You know, there weren't any memories created in the property. The person you're negotiating with doesn't even own the property. They're an hourly employee who might be getting paid or is able to keep their job based on how many deals they're able to approve. So the emotion is removed from the equation. With the MLS, you know you can find exactly what you want, or more importantly, what your buyers want. If your buyers want a 3-bedroom home with at least 2 bathrooms, over 1,500 square feet, built after 1980, with a finished basement, in a certain zip code, and a Cape Cod or split foyer, not a colonial, with forced air heating, using the MLS, you can find exactly what your buyers are looking for. The you know, finding deals on the MLS means you don't spend money marketing to find those particular deals. That means your budget related to finding MLS deals is zero. So you can shift those marketing dollars to building and finding buyers, or maybe to other deal sources. That's one reason why I love the MLS. Distressed homeowners. Distressed homeowners come, you know, for various reasons. Um, you've got short sales and pre-foreclosures, which are huge right now. I mean, there's so many homeowners right now who are upside down in their mortgage, have negative equity, and they are distressed. Be careful. Some states do have some foreclosure law language that's designed to protect customers and may, in some cases, not be very investor friendly. So check, you know, for your own state. Bankruptcy and tax liens. You know, if someone receives a letter and they now owe Uncle Sam $50,000 because they haven't filed taxes, that's going to cause distress, and often, you know, they're going to look at taking some pretty drastic measures to get out of the situation, and that may involve needing to sell a home or bankruptcy. You know, somebody's filing bankruptcy. Um, in many cases, you know, they may be required to sell the house, um, which is liquidating the asset. So that is an opportunity for us as investors, and especially as wholesalers. Job loss. I don't think I need to say much more about that. If you read the news, you know, over the last couple of years, there have been thousands of jobs lost. Um, Health issues is another reason. Divorce, downsizing, relocation. Um, One of the ways that we find distressed homeowners is through direct and targeted mailing. Um, that way we can utilize letter campaigns, postcard campaigns, uh, to target people that that are likely to uh, be motivated and sell to us at a price that allows us to offer great deals to our investors. Word of mouth is a way of finding distressed homeowners that's overlooked, but it's very powerful. It's inexpensive. The great thing about word of mouth versus, let's say, direct mailing. When you send a direct mailing piece and the person reaches in their mailbox and they're holding it in their hand, they have to have a very compelling reason to pick up the phone and call you. Even if they're distressed, they may not call you. Sometimes it takes very compelling copy to make, compelling words to make the person want to call you. Other times it takes multiple mailings before the person is compelled to call you. Sometimes it takes both. Sometimes the person never calls you for whatever reason. Great thing about word of mouth is with word of mouth, imagine your message that you are trying to communicate via a postcard or a letter. Imagine a person's friend or family member conveying that same message. That message at that point is not coming from a total stranger, but it's coming from a friend or maybe someone that they hold in high regard. And that is something that puts you so far ahead of competitors that may be doing just direct mailing because you've already got your foot in the door. Bandit signs. I know you've seen them before. We buy houses signs. Uh, those signs are great because they're easy to implement, they're inexpensive, and you can put them exactly in areas you want to target. Now, with a distressed homeowner, the two questions that I ask myself as an investor and wholesaler: is the seller motivated, and does the seller have equity? If the seller doesn't have equity, that means equity has to be created via a um, short sale or maybe some other creative investing technique. But those are two. They by no means are those the only two questions that we have to ask, but those are usually the first two questions that we as investors want to know. Probate inherited properties, great deal source. I can tell you, not many people fish from that pond. Uh, where there's less competition, there is opportunity. Um, I love inherited properties that are vacant because they're easy to show to potential buyers. With probates, you've got more time with the property. With the bank-owned property, with an REO property, you've got to be able to move pretty quickly. Often, you may only have 3 or 4 days, maybe 5 days with a property where you may have an inspection period or financing contingency. So, you've got a matter of days to put it under contract and find a buyer for the property. Whereas with a probate property, you may have 90 days, 60 days with the property, and maybe you're able to get extensions as you need. Generally, all things being equal, if you have more time to market the property, you can probably make more money. Often when you only have a little bit of time, sometimes you've got to take the first decent offer that comes along. With probate or inherited properties, two landmines: be careful of adversarial attorneys. So attorneys who, don't know your business or honestly aren't even open to doing business with you. You don't want to deal with an attorney who doesn't like you or who doesn't like what you do. You're asking for it. Also, often you'll have siblings, and one sibling has one plan for the property, the other sibling has another plan, and if they're feuding and they can't get together, can't make up their mind, it can make a very sticky situation. You can find probate and inherited properties by subscribing to probate list. There are several vendors out there, or going to your local courthouse to find probate deals. This now brings me to tired landlords. I said it before. This real estate market, or the boom and bust of the real estate market, created a lot of tired landlords. Um, I mean, come on, face it. A few years ago, everyone wanted to be a landlord, and many people grabbed properties that honestly didn't make much sense. So that's created a ton of tired landlords. Tired landlords know the state of the real estate market. They often know that the end buyer for their property is going to be another investor, and they know investors buy at discounts. The emotion is often removed from the equation. I mean, this property they haven't lived in. At this point, the property is a financial drain on them, so there's no sentimental attachment to the property. The tired landlords just want to be done. How do we find tired landlords? Through marketing to absentee owners. There are lists you can subscribe to get this information. You can also use the multiple listing system to get this information. Tired landlords are always advertising on Craigslist and other classified sites to either rent their property or to sell their property. You can have a realtor pull expired listings for you, or you can go to your local real estate investment association and you may find a tired landlord or two or a dozen there to try to find out how they can get out of their crappy rental property. Trust me, I've met several tired landlords at real estate investment groups.